Hi guys. At this hour, I really should have been in my bed, but I just thought that I should do this video before I go to bed. I just want to talk to you about forgiveness. Forgiveness, yes, which is a very difficult process. And a lot of us have a problem with forgiving. And I just wanted to see whether there is anything that I can say to you this evening that may help you in learning how to forgive. Now, I had an experience some years ago with a young woman who, for whatever reason it is, she just never liked me. Um, she would say unkind things, and she never hid her emotions. She would come close to me and say, not talking to anybody in particular, um, them know say me not like them. Them know say me not like them because them go on like them better than anybody. And I was always just so amused at why she never liked me. I just couldn't understand it. But we had a mutual friend. I don't remember if I said that before. We had a mutual friend who was always interested in um having us have a relationship. And she would say to her, why don't you talk to her? Me not talk to her, me not talk to her. But you know what? I never harbored any feeling of rancor toward her because I am accustomed to being treated like that. People always thought that I was cocky and without knowing me really. I don't know if it was my face that put them off or it was just my persona. I just go about, it never really mattered to me what people thought of me because I was really confident in myself, and so it didn't bother me what you're saying or what you thought. I like to say that what you want to think of me is not my business. So it's entirely up to you. So I find that sometimes people don't like me off the bat. I got so accustomed to that I didn't bother about it. But eventually, we became very good friends. How did that happen? One day I was going to the hospital and I told my friend, her friend as well, that I was going to go to the hospital to see somebody, and she asked me where, and I told her, and she said, oh, so and so is in the hospital. And I said, really? And she said, yes, and I think you should go see her. And I said, no. And she said, yes, I think you should go see her. I said, you think I should? I don't know about that. I never said I would go. But anyways, I went to the hospital to see the person that I had intended to see. And after I was finished with that visit, I decided to see this young lady. So I went to the ward, told them who I was looking for, and they directed me to the room. And I went in very cheerily. I said, hi, miss. How are you? I heard you're in the hospital and I came to see you. How are you doing? And she responded quite warmly. And I sat down and we started to talk. And, I asked her why she was there and she told me and stuff like that. And we just got off to talking and I made her laugh so much at one time. She said, no, you have to stop, because she was laughing so hard. Her head was hurting her and her tummy was hurting her. And I'd gone in there and carried on. So after we were done, I spent almost an hour, as a matter of fact, longer than I should have, because the visiting hours in the hospital, and remember I'd gone and seen somebody before, but I think they were not so strict. So I was there with her, and after I left, before I actually left the compound, I got a call from our mutual friend, and she said, someone so said you came to see her. And she said she didn't even know, so you're nice. And she said she told her, but I was telling you all the time that is that and what have you. And we developed such a good relationship after that. She always had my back. If anything unkind came to your mind, you better not verbalize it as it relates to me, because she would have just take you down just like that. She had that kind of personality that she just doesn't go around the bush, just like how she was relating with me. She just don't go around the bush. She just say whatever it is she has to say. She doesn't like you, you're going to know it. No pretense. That was how she was. Yeah. But I'm saying I'm glad I never harbored any ill will against her. I never said anything unkind. Never did. I just took it in stride because I knew that that is how people generally relate to me. And invariably, those persons, I would always have a very good relationship with them because they always found out that what they thought of me was not really so. It was just assumptions because they didn't know me well. So I wouldn't even bother to say that I had to forgive her because I really wasn't harboring any ill will. But you know, people in situations like those will be upset and wouldn't want to speak to her, that kind of thing. But I remember some time ago, two ladies at church, after church ended, they got into a fight and somebody had to part them. And it was the business of the church leaders to ensure that, you know, things were sorted out between them. But the women were not willing to reconcile. And one of them said she'd prefer to go to hell before she would speak to the other lady. And I was shocked because I'm saying, you can't be a Christian and don't want to reconcile with your sister. But that is what it is. That's what she said. You know, she wasn't willing to reconcile. Now, I'm not saying that it is easy to forgive, but I'm saying that it is important for a number of reasons. Firstly, you are a child of God. And when you say the prayer, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, it's conditional, as we forgive our debtors. You expect God to forgive you. So you have to be able to forgive your fellow man. You can't not want to forgive and then go to God seeking forgiveness. It really does not make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So ensure that you are willing and able to forgive somebody. And I'm not saying that it is going to happen overnight, because if you are not like me, who really don't bear a grudge, because once I get it out in the open, because if it happens now and I'm upset or anything like that, I might mull it over in my mind and then I determine how it is that I'm going to approach it. But everybody who knows me will tell you that I really don't bear a grudge. And I really think that that is a gift from God, because really people have hurt me deeply and I really am not harboring anything against anybody, and I have not gone for any long periods having any rancor against anybody. I've just been able to just let it go. Just let it go. And that is good for me. So I'm saying, if you are upset with somebody, you need to let it go because it will benefit you. When you have somebody in your chest, it doesn't augur well for you for a number of reasons. If you happen to see the person, you can develop a headache, your blood pressure goes up, you get nervous, you get upset, you get sweaty hands, your heart starts to beat fast, you're anxious, all sorts of things happen to you. Physically, these things are happening to you, shortness of breath and all of that, simply because you are upset with somebody, and every time you see the person, all these emotions come into play again, and it's affecting you in an adverse way. Whereas the person is going about their business, not even realizing, oblivious to the fact that all of these things are happening to you. Because sometimes they might have hurt you inadvertently and you didn't tell them that they had hurt you. You just keep it to yourself. You didn't tell them, so they didn't know, so they could have tried to make things right, reconcile with you, ask for your forgiveness, apologize, whatever. So it's happening over and over. You need to let it go. so that you can release yourself from all these negative emotions and be going about your business and enjoying your life, so that when you see this person, you can genuinely say hello and mean it. You know, it is not easy. So you have to be intentional about it. And you hear me saying intentional a lot of times because it is something that you have to work at. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen out of the clear blue sky. So it's something you're going to have to pray about. If you're a praying person, you have to pray about it. Talk to somebody about it. Not necessarily the person that you have not forgiven. Talk to somebody who can guide you as to how to go about it. You have to decide how to approach this person that you're going to go to seek reconciliation. And not in all cases there will be reconciliation, you know. So you have to be careful because sometimes you might make the matter worse. But even to say to the person, look, this is what has happened and this is how I feel, and I want to release you from this, and I also want to release myself, so I am willing to forgive you, and I hope that you can forgive me as well, and get rid of it. Get it over and done with, so that you can move on with your life with a kind of freedom that you never had before, because you're holding this person in your heart. Ask God to help you to release whomever. And people hurt you really deeply to the core, but don't tell yourself that you can never forgive them, because if you can never forgive them, you're holding yourself prisoner, and that person, without even realizing it, is controlling you because of the way that you react when you meet upon this person. So just decide within yourself that this is something you have to do. Remember, now I said it's not easy, but you can do it. Seek the advice of somebody who you respect, somebody who has wisdom and know what to say to you and how to approach somebody that you need to forgive, and talk to them about it and see what happens. And do not be upset if the person does not want to be reconciled with you, because I have to say that forgiveness is kind of a selfish act, because you are releasing yourself from what is going on. Because like I said before, sometimes the other person who has hurt you has forgotten about it and is oblivious of what is happening to you while you're there not forgiving them. So you have to decide and determine within yourself how it is that you're going to approach the situation. Seek forgiveness and don't dwell on it if the person doesn't want to reconcile. Just know that you have released yourself and you're thankful and you're happy and you're going to feel good having released the person. You know, you can maybe even write a letter. You don't have to give it to the person, but write the letter, read it out loud like you're saying this to the person, and just tell yourself, I'm free, I have released you. And you can destroy the letter. And then you're going to go to the person, ask their forgiveness, forgive them, let it go. You are forgiving somebody and you're doing yourself a world of good by forgiving somebody. Think about it. And if you have somebody that has hurt you deeply that you've not yet forgiven, think about the things that you're going to be able to say and how you're going to approach this person and how you're going to release yourself from all this bitterness and this rancor and all of these negative emotions that you're experiencing. And just be happy, be free, you know, because you've released this person from the prison that you have put yourself in. Because once you're holding somebody prisoner in your heart, you are in prison too. So you're going to have to release them. And when you've released them, you've released yourself, and you can be happy again. I want you to think about it, give it some thought, and use your ideas of how you're going to go about releasing someone from unforgiveness. I hope that by saying all of this, I would have helped somebody this evening to release somebody and to be happy. I really hope that if one person is able to put into practice what I've said and is able to release themselves, then I would not have spoken in vain. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe, share, leave a comment if you'd like, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I've uploaded a new video. Have a good one. Bye.